The hidden NPC phenomenon. Have you ever felt like some people around you are just empty? Like they're running on autopilot, repeating the same phrases, the same behaviors, completely unaware? What if I told you this isn't just a strange feeling, but a real phenomenon? NPCs are here. And the evidence is everywhere. Throughout history, thinkers and scientists have questioned the nature of consciousness. But now, modern neuroscience, philosophy, and the simulation hypothesis are revealing something even more disturbing: not everyone may be truly conscious. What does this mean? Are some people simply background characters in a scripted reality? Is this proof that we're living inside a simulation? Or is there a deeper reason why so many people seem to lack true self-awareness? Stay with me, because what you're about to learn may change how you see the world forever. The nature of consciousness and the NPC question. The idea of NPCs, non-player characters, comes from video games, scripted, pre-programmed entities that exist only to fill the background. They follow a set of behaviors, react predictably, and never question their reality. But what if this isn't just a gaming concept? What if this applies to real life? Many ancient teachings suggest that not all people possess the same level of consciousness. From Hinduism's concept of jivas, souls at different levels of awareness, to Gnostic teachings about archons influencing human behavior, the idea that some individuals operate in a purely reactive, unconscious state is nothing new. Modern psychology even acknowledges something similar. Concepts like automaticity, where people function purely on learned behaviors, and social conditioning, suggest that many individuals never truly think for themselves. They repeat what they hear, follow societal scripts, and exist in a loop without ever questioning their reality. But here's the real question: are NPCs just conditioned humans? Or is something more mysterious at play? The zombie problem: are some people just empty shells? Philosophers have debated the nature of consciousness for centuries, and one of the most famous arguments ties directly into NPC theory, the zombie problem. A philosophical zombie is a theoretical being that looks, talks, and acts like a normal human, but has no internal experience. They can hold conversations, respond to stimuli, and even display emotions, but they do not actually feel anything. This thought experiment raises an unsettling question: what if some people around us are just like this? What if they operate purely on pre-programmed behaviors without true awareness? Think about the people who never question the world, who react predictably to news, social trends, or authority figures. Are they fully conscious individuals, or are they simply following an internal script? David Chalmers, a leading philosopher in the study of consciousness, argues that the existence of philosophical zombies is entirely possible. Meaning that humans could, in theory, function without true sentience. If so, what would this mean for free will? Some neuroscientists believe that consciousness is an emergent property, something not all human brains develop fully. This could mean that certain individuals, while biologically human, never reach the level of deep self-awareness that others do. If this is true, then what separates a conscious being from an NPC? Is it self-reflection? Critical thinking? Or something even more profound? Neuroscience and the lack of inner awareness. Science is beginning to catch up with philosophy, and the findings are shocking. Not all human brains exhibit the same level of self-awareness. Studies on the default mode network, DMN, a region of the brain associated with introspection and self-reflection, suggest that individuals with low DMN activity tend to exhibit rigid thought patterns and reactive behavior. In other words, they operate based on programming rather than deep contemplation. Some neuroscientists believe that certain neurological conditions, like alexithymia, result in individuals who struggle to identify or describe their own emotions. This could explain why some people seem emotionally detached, unable to engage in deep self-reflection. And here's where it gets even more disturbing: brain scan studies on meditation practitioners show that deep introspection can physically alter brain structure, strengthening areas associated with awareness. This means consciousness can be developed, but only if an individual actively works on it. So, if some people never reflect on their existence, never question reality, and never train their consciousness, are they even fully conscious at all? The simulation hypothesis: are NPCs evidence of a fake reality? If we truly live in a simulated reality, then NPC-like behavior may not just be a psychological phenomenon, it could be a fundamental part of the system. Think about video games. NPCs exist to fill space, create interactions, and make the world feel alive. But they do not question their existence. Now, imagine if our world operates on similar rules. Futurists and scientists, including Elon Musk and Nick Bostrom, argue that advanced civilizations could create simulated worlds indistinguishable from reality. If that's true, then the presence of NPCs, people who follow scripts, react predictably, and never question the system, actually makes sense. And here's where it gets even weirder. Many people report experiencing glitches in reality, moments where NPC-like individuals seem to act in ways that defy logic. People repeating the same exact phrases or actions in different places. Individuals seeming out of sync with reality, like their responses are delayed or pre-programmed. Strangers giving eerily robotic answers when asked unexpected questions. Could this be proof that some people aren't truly conscious, but instead pre-scripted elements of a greater simulation? Even spiritual traditions support this idea. Many belief systems suggest that some souls are more developed than others, while others may exist as background characters in the grand design of reality. If this is true, then what does it mean for those who are aware? Are we meant to wake up, or are we just another part of the program? Social conditioning: how the system keeps NPCs in place. If neuroscience and the simulation hypothesis suggest that some individuals are less conscious, then what role does society play in maintaining the NPC effect? The truth is, social conditioning is one of the most powerful forces keeping people asleep. From childhood, people are programmed with belief systems, habits, and responses that reinforce conformity. Schools teach memorization rather than critical thinking. The media floods minds with prescripted narratives. Governments and corporations push a culture of obedience, ensuring that most people never break out of the loop. This is why so many individuals mindlessly follow trends without questioning their origin. Believe everything they see on mainstream news without critical analysis. React emotionally instead of thinking logically. Rely on authority figures to tell them what is real and what is not. But here's the most alarming part: social conditioning isn't just an accident, it's by design. The system benefits when people remain predictable, passive, and easily influenced. NPC-like behavior is encouraged because it makes people easier to control. The concept of mass formation psychosis explains how large groups of people can be manipulated into a uniform way of thinking. It's a psychological phenomenon where fear, repetition, and peer pressure create a collective state of compliance. History has shown this effect time and time again, from authoritarian regimes to modern-day media-driven hysteria. Psychologist Gustav Le Bon studied how individuals in a crowd lose their ability for independent thought, adopting the group's mindset instead. This explains why so many people blindly follow narratives without questioning them, because their minds have been conditioned to prioritize group acceptance over individual reasoning. What's even more disturbing is that social conditioning doesn't just shape thoughts, it can physically alter the brain. Studies show that prolonged exposure to propaganda can rewire neural pathways, making individuals less capable of independent thought. Essentially, the longer someone remains in an NPC state, the harder it becomes to break free. So, does this mean NPC behavior is irreversible? Or is there a way to escape the programming? How to identify NPCs, signs of a scripted mind? If NPCs exist, then how do you spot them? Are there clear signs that someone lacks true consciousness, or is it something more subtle? While there's no foolproof way to determine if someone is an NPC, there are patterns that reveal a lack of deep awareness. Repetitive speech and scripted responses. They repeat mainstream narratives without question, even when presented with contradictory evidence. Lack of self-reflection. They rarely question their own actions, beliefs, or existence. Extreme conformity. They blindly follow authority figures, trends, and societal expectations. Predictable emotional reactions. Instead of thinking critically, they react impulsively to events, often parroting programmed responses. No curiosity about the unknown. They show little interest in exploring consciousness, questioning reality, or expanding their minds. Inability to handle cognitive dissonance. When faced with evidence that contradicts their beliefs, they shut down or become hostile rather than engage in rational discussion. Resistance to change. They struggle to break habits, question traditions, or embrace new perspectives, remaining locked in familiar routines. This isn't about labeling people, it's about recognizing behavior patterns that separate free thinkers from those trapped in unconscious loops. Some NPC-like individuals may be capable of awakening if exposed to new information, while others remain permanently stuck in their programming. But here's the big question: can you deprogram an NPC? Or are they designed to remain in their scripted roles? Some researchers argue that exposure to new ideas, deep introspection, and personal crises can act as glitches in a person's programming, forcing them to think critically for the first time. However, the ego's defense mechanism often prevents this from happening. Most people resist questioning their reality because it threatens their sense of identity. For those who wish to wake up others, the key isn't forcing information on them, it's leading by example. The more conscious individuals around them begin breaking free from the script, the more opportunities arise for others to follow. Breaking free. Are you an NPC without knowing it? It's easy to point at others and assume they are NPCs. But what if the real question is, are you an NPC? Could you be unknowingly trapped in unconscious loops, following scripts without realizing it? The harsh truth is that everyone has NPC tendencies. The difference between a true NPC and an awakened individual is the ability to recognize and break free from the conditioning that controls their thoughts, emotions, and actions. Signs you might be stuck in an NPC loop. You consume but never create. Do you endlessly scroll through social media, watching others think and create, but never contribute your own ideas? You never question your beliefs. When was the last time you challenged something you've always believed to be true? You react instead of responding. Do you let emotions control you, or do you take time to analyze and think before reacting? You fear breaking the norm. Do you hesitate to challenge authority, follow a different path, or embrace uncomfortable truths? You seek validation from external sources. Does your sense of self-worth depend on approval from others rather than your own inner truth? If any of these sound familiar, don't panic. It means you're aware enough to recognize the conditioning. And that means you can break free. How to escape the NPC mindset? Practice deep self-reflection. Regularly question your beliefs, behaviors, and emotions. Ask yourself, why do I think this way? Limit mindless consumption. Cut back on passive entertainment and focus on knowledge that challenges you. Develop independent thinking. Train yourself to analyze, research, and form conclusions instead of accepting what's given. Engage in mindfulness and meditation. Strengthen your awareness to separate yourself from programmed thoughts. Take action. NPCs remain stagnant, conscious beings act. Break routines, try new experiences, and push beyond comfort zones. Escaping the NPC trap is not about superiority, it's about awakening. The system thrives on complacency and predictability. The moment you start questioning, thinking, and choosing your own path, you step outside the script. But here's the final question: if you break free, what will you do with your awareness? The final truth: who controls the narrative of reality? So, after everything we've uncovered, what's the final truth about NPCs? Are they biological automatons with no real consciousness? Are they glitches in a simulated world? Or are they simply victims of deep societal programming? The answer is all of the above. The three categories of NPCs. The socially programmed NPCs: these are individuals who have the potential for deep awareness but are trapped in societal conditioning. They can wake up, but only if they choose to. The reactive NPCs: these individuals operate purely on stimulus-response mechanisms. They are emotionally reactive, never self-reflecting, and remain caught in predictable patterns. The background NPCs: if simulation theory is correct, some people could exist as placeholders in reality, programmed to fill space but lacking independent agency. So what's the truth? The world is a mix of highly conscious individuals and those who may never break free. But the key takeaway is this. Backhand index pointing right: you can only control your own awareness. Trying to wake up others who aren't ready is pointless. The real mission is to break free yourself, and inspire others through action, not force. The system wants you asleep. Stay awake. The system wants you asleep. How to stay awake? If you've made it this far, you're already ahead of most people. The system is designed to keep you distracted, controlled, and unaware, because the moment you wake up, you become unpredictable. And unpredictability is the greatest threat to any system built on control. How the system keeps people asleep. Media manipulation: mainstream narratives push fear, division, and obedience, ensuring the population remains passive. Education system indoctrination: schools teach compliance and memorization, not critical thinking or questioning the world. Consumer culture distraction: endless entertainment, social media, and trends keep people occupied and disconnected from their own minds. Fear-based control: crisis after crisis keeps people in a constant state of stress, preventing deep introspection and real growth. The harsh truth? Most people don't want to wake up. It's easier to stay inside the illusion, follow the script, and avoid the discomfort that comes with questioning reality. But if you're still here, reading this, you're not most people. What it means to be awake. Being awake isn't about superiority or looking down on those who are still trapped in the system. It's about taking responsibility for your own mind, actions, and reality. To truly awaken, you must detach from programmed narratives, learn to recognize and reject manipulation tactics. Develop inner awareness. Meditation, mindfulness, and introspection sharpen your ability to think independently. Stay in control of your emotions. Emotional reactivity keeps you trapped, self-mastery sets you free. Build a strong mind and body. A clear mind requires a healthy body. Take care of yourself physically and mentally. Connect with like-minded individuals. Isolation weakens you, but surrounding yourself with other awakened thinkers strengthens your resolve. The journey doesn't end with awareness. It begins with action. The question is, now that you know the truth, what will you do with it? The awakening has begun. Reality is not what it seems. Some people move through life on autopilot, following scripts, never questioning the nature of their existence. But a few, the awakened ones, begin to see the cracks in the illusion. If you've made it this far, you are part of a growing movement, a movement of seekers who refuse to accept reality at face value. The fact that you are here, questioning, thinking, and analyzing, means you have already broken free from the NPC mindset. But awareness is just the first step. True awakening requires action. The more people who step outside the script, the more the illusion begins to crumble. So the final question is, what role will you play? Will you be a passive observer, or will you take control of your own reality? The choice has always been yours. The search for truth doesn't end here. If you want to go even deeper into the mysteries of reality, consciousness, and the hidden forces shaping our world, subscribe to Truth Seeker's library. White heavy checkmark, hit the like button if this video challenged your perception of reality. Bellhop bell, turn on notifications so you never miss a mind-expanding revelation. Speech balloon, drop a comment below. What do you think about the NPC phenomenon? Have you experienced it firsthand? Let's discuss. Loudspeaker, share this video with those who are ready to wake up. Stay aware. Stay questioning. And most importantly, stay awake.